Have you ever swum in a pond? Every drop of pond water is teeming with single celled organisms. At one time, scientists classified these organisms as either plants or animals. However, classification schemes change. Single celled eukaryotes, such as these pond dwellers, now have a kingdom of their own. This is Chapter 18, Section 4, Domains and Kingdoms. Key concept. The current tree of life has 3 domains. Main ideas. Classification is always a work in progress. And the 3 domains in the tree of life are bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. First, main idea. Classification is always a work in progress. The tree of life is a model that shows the most current understanding of how living things are related. Some new discoveries confirm parts of the tree that were once based on similarities in form alone. But, as is shown on the screen here, new findings can also lead scientists to change how they classify certain organisms. The two kingdoms system was accepted by biologists until 1866, when German biologist Ernst Haeckel proposed moving all single-celled organisms to the kingdom Protista. In 1938, American biologist Herbert Copeland argued that the prokaryotes deserved their own kingdom called Monera. Prokaryotes are single-celled organisms that do not have a membrane-bound nuclei or organelles. In 1959, American ecologist Robert Whittaker proposed that because of how they feed, fungi should be placed into their own kingdom apart from plants. The kingdom fungi includes molds and mushrooms. In 1977, ribosomal RNA research by Carl Woese revealed 2 genetically different groups of prokaryotes. His findings led scientists to split the kingdom Monera into 2 kingdoms called bacteria and archaea. Woese's discovery did more than split the kingdom Monera. The 2 groups of prokaryotes that he studied have had very, very different cell wall chemistries. In terms of genes, these 2 groups are more different from each other than animals are from plants, fungi, and protists. Based on these differences, Woese proposed that all life be divided into 3 domains. These domains are above the kingdom level. Second main idea. The 3 domains in the tree of life are bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. Most biologists now accept Woese's domain system. This system more clearly shows the great diversity of prokaryotes in the tree of life by dividing them into 2 domains. These domains are called bacteria and archaea. All eukaryotes are placed into a 3rd domain called eukarya. The domain bacteria includes single-celled prokaryotes in the kingdom bacteria. The domain bacteria is one of the largest groups of organisms on Earth. In fact, there are more bacteria in your mouth than there are people that have ever lived. Bacteria can be classified by many traits, such as their shape, their need for oxygen, and whether they cause disease. Like bacteria, organisms in the domain archaea are single-celled prokaryotes. However, the cell walls of archaea and bacteria are chemically different. Archaea, like those shown on the screen here, are known for their ability to live in extreme environments, such as deep sea vents, hot geysers, Antarctic waters, and salt lakes. All archaea are classified in the kingdom Archaea. The domain Eukarya is made up of all organisms with eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells have a distinct nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Eukarya may be single-celled, such as most protists. They can also be colonial, such as some algae, or multicellular, like you. The domain Eukarya includes the kingdoms Protista, Plantae, Fungi, and Animalia. Some scientists think that bacteria and archaea have no true species. This is because many of these organisms transfer genes among themselves outside of typical reproduction. This sharing of genes blurs the lines between species as we define them in the Linnaean system. One study found that almost a quarter of the genes in the bacterium Thermogata maritima are similar to archaean genes. Our understanding of how to classify prokaryotes is just beginning. This video has been Chapter 18, Section 4, Domains and Kingdoms. Key concept. The current tree of life has 3 domains.